I'm going to be sharing with you this evening a little bit about the DBGA grant programs. We have a number of grants which are geared towards assisting small businesses. So the presentation that I'm going to make, I'll just do some very basic stuff as it relates to what is a grant and some of the upside and downside issues around grants. We'll touch on what the DBGA has to offer in its portfolio for grants. And I'm also going to, it's not a grant, but I think it's a very important product that the DBGA has. And I just have, I believe, 3 slides on that. It's our credit enhancement facility, which is a partial guarantee facility. And we know the issue of collateral is also a big thing when it comes to small businesses. And there's a little test at the end. So I don't want anybody logging off before I'm done. I want you all on board because I'm sure Tanis will figure out what the prizes are. We don't have any prizes on the DBGA side, but I'm sure Tanis will set up something for you. I'm putting her on the spot. So one other housekeeping matter, Tanis mentioned that we want to be interactive. I'm fine with that. Please raise your hand. And if you have a question, and I will take it. That prevents me from talking for the next 40 minutes or 35 minutes. So I'm going to start sharing my screen. And once the presentation is up, I'll take my camera down, but rest assured that if I need to respond to any of your queries, I will come on camera to do so. Before starting, are there any questions before we get going? All right, great. So let me start sharing my screen.
Hello.
Hello.
A pleasant evening, Mr. Chin. Sorry to
Yes.
stop you. Juliet Wallace here from Jamaica, Go Europe. Could you give us some clarity as to what exactly your portfolio at DBJ entails?
Sure, sure.
That title, please. Thanks.
All right, great. Thanks for that. Thanks for that question. So, investor relationships unit is the unit which has direct interface with MSMEs. The unit is also responsible for DBJ's direct lending portfolio. And we also have responsibility for a new product that the DBJ is looking to launch called reverse factoring. But our primary focus is that direct interaction between MSMEs and the DBJ. So if you have an issue with your grant application or you just want to find information on DBJ's products and services, the team that I manage is the team that you will interact with. So that's it in a nutshell before I get going.
Okay, thank you. You did say SMEs, not MSMEs. You don't care about
MSMEs. No,
okay.
No, of course we care about everybody. If I said SMEs, my bad, it's MSMEs.
Okay, great.
We treat with everyone. Those registered, unregistered, large, small, medium, everybody.
All right, because they're my passion. Thank you.
Thanks for that question. All right, so you ought to be seeing my presentation now. Yes?
Yes, sir.
All right,
yes,
all right, great. All right, great. Thanks for that. So let me jump right in. So this evening, I'll be looking at growing your business with grant funding and how to apply. And there will be specific focus on what the DBJ's offerings are. If I can find my presentation. Okay. So that's me, and these are my contact details, cell phone, as well as the switchboard and my email address. So let us look at the types of funding. Funding is normally classified under 3 headings. Your grants, your debt, and your equity. So briefly, grants, no repayment, typically some form of accountability is required. So grant Donors don't want to be just putting money in your hands. They want to ensure that the funds are utilized for specific purposes. In the case of debt, you know, this is borrowed money, and the cost of debt is interest. Usually there's a fixed repayment schedule. And then there is equity, which is you as a business owner giving up some stake in the business, and equity can affect your control if you give up too much, and it can be tricky to navigate. But usually equity comes with larger operations, more sophisticated clients. So that's pretty much the three types of funding. Let's look at what is a grant. Now, a grant can be defined very broadly as an award which is given by one entity to an individual or a company. It normally facilitates or incentivizes something. So it can be business development, it can be research, a whole host of other things, depending on who the donor is. And a grant is essentially a gift in that you don't have to be, it doesn't have to be paid back under most conditions. I was trying to find some information on possible grants and the reasons why you would be asked to pay back a grant. All I was able to find is if the grant is not utilized for the intended purpose, then you can be called upon to repay your grant. So we touched on what a grant is, what it is designed for. In the case of financial grants, it's usually designed to assist in fueling growth of small businesses. And in order to tap into grants, research is critical as a small business or a micro business. It's not going to just drop in your lap. You have to go out there and actively research, finding money that is out there and finding grants which are appropriate to your business operations. On the upside, it is free. You don't have to pay it back. The downside, however, is grants can be highly competitive. Sometimes the list of persons asking for grants is significantly longer than the grants that are out there. So you have to be on top of your game in order to get grant funding sometimes. And how the funding is used is very strictly defined. And usually if it is not used in that manner, that is when you might be asked to repay. Somebody is not muted. I'm getting some feedback. All right, great. So we're looking specifically this evening on what the Dbga has to offer. Now, the Dbga's model is fairly simple. You have the Dbga, and we interact with MSMEs through financial intermediaries as well as business development organizations. So a financial intermediary like the JMMB, as well as other commercial banks, business development organizations. So we work with places like the Bureau of Standards. Oops, not yet. We work with places like the Bureau of Standards, Scientific Research Council. We currently have on board some 83 business development organizations, which have Dbga has accredited or assessed and have agreed to work with them. And they provide a whole range of services in excess of 30 odd business development services can be accessed through our business development organizations. So this is Dbga's primary model for interacting with MSMEs. Our programs are broken down into three main categories. Well, four actually, but one category, which is the public-private partnership and privatization, is not geared towards MSMEs. We handle the government's privatization policy, and we seek to privatize government assets in keeping with government policy. So that is left out of the mix. But on the grant side, our grants are designed specifically to support innovation and to allow you or to assist you in scaling your business operations. Our loans, very competitive pricing, and our loans are geared towards micro, small, medium, and large enterprises. Of course, there is always the one provision that your project must be viable and sustainable. And you find that in the banking sector generally. So DBJ, I would say, is not doing anything different as it relates to its lending and your ability to qualify for DBJ funding. And then we have a very important product which has been launched some time ago, our credit enhancement facility, which is a partial guarantee facility. It's a partial guarantee facility. We know the complaints from many business owners that they don't have sufficient collateral to access funding from their financial institution. The credit enhancement facility is designed to plug that gap for you. And although it is not a grant, I consider it important to mention to you this evening. So we'll touch on a few slides treating specifically with the credit enhancement facility. So our main grant product is called our voucher for technical assistance. And as I mentioned a few minutes ago, it provides access to in excess of 30 business development services for MSMEs. As usual, businesses are asked to have some skin in the game. So the DBJ grants will cover up to 70% of the value of the service, or up to a maximum of $300,000 in the case of our Go Digital grants. And the MSMEs can access up to a maximum of one voucher every 2 years, plus one Go Digital voucher. And the Go Digital voucher is our newest voucher offering. It came into being last year. You may recall that the Minister of Finance announced in his budget presentation last year that he would be providing some $3 billion to the financial sector to provide loans and grants for businesses affected by the pandemic, as well as to allow businesses to navigate the new dispensation that we saw with small businesses. A lot of businesses had to move from brick and mortar to online, and the Go Digital grant was specifically designed to assist businesses in making that transition. So as an MSME, you're entitled to one regular voucher and one Go Digital voucher. So you can have two vouchers running concurrently. So to apply for your voucher for technical assistance, we have a website called dbgvoucher.com that you can apply directly through. You don't need to be applying for a loan. If you're at the point in your business operations where you feel that it is time, you need training, you need HACCP certification, you need a marketing plan, you need a business plan, you can apply for a voucher. It is not loan specific anymore. It used to be like that at the beginning of the program. We have since revamped it, and you can apply on your own. Just go to our website, and the application is fairly straightforward. So as I mentioned, the voucher will pick up the tab for a number of services, and these are just some of the offerings. Business plan preparation. We have a number of business development organizations which
Mr. Chairman, sorry to
Yes, Lancelot. No
All right.
worries at all. I
Well,
welcome
I know
the
you said that we can ask
question.
questions as we go along. So I'm
Yes,
just looking
man,
up the
I
topic.
welcome. Yes, go ahead.
So Lancelot Riley here, Mentum Foods, we're
Yes, sir.
a manufacturing company.
Yes,
Two questions with the vouchers and the grant. So after March 31st, I think it was, they were
yes.
saying that we can only apply for one grant with the Go Digital loan included. So
One
the Go
grant with the Go Digital loan.
yeah, so the Go Digital loan is that it would be counted as one. So what I want to find out, has that policy changed recently that we can apply for the Go Digital grant and another grant within that 2 years? Or is
That
it the same
is
that
my
we?
information. That is my information. So unless something has changed that I'm not fully aware of, but I can check on that and provide Tanis with information for dissemination to you. But
Please.
based on my knowledge, you're still entitled to one regular grant as well as a Go Digital grant. But things often change very quickly sometimes. So I will find that information and Tanis will be able to send it to you by tomorrow latest. That's my commitment to you this afternoon. I
Thank you, Mr.
see
Singh.
you're
The
welcome,
next question,
Lancelot. You have another question?
so another quick question. I see somebody else asking about it too.
Sure.
The Cef program. I approached another institution with the option of tapping into the Cef program. But
Mhm.
based on the terms that they were offering to me, it was actually disadvantageous for me as a business owner. So I wanted to be clear what the terms are. I was told that they only offer a certain percentage of the total loan using the Cef, I think 2% interest, and then you would have to pay the bank's interest rate for the balance. So could you clarify the terms for me in terms
Okay.
of the Cef program?
All right. I'm going to ask you to wait until I get to the slides which treat with CEF. I have some slides in there, 3 slides, which will outline how the program works and what the entitlements are under the CEF program. So if you will just bear with me until we get there. All right,
No
thanks,
problem.
Lance. Thank you very much. I see Emilia and I see Tessa.
Hi, good evening.
Go ahead,
My name is
Emilio.
Emilia. Hi, good
How are
evening.
you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. How are you?
Great. Pretty good, thanks.
I'm sorry I'm late, but with reference to the Go Digital loan, I saw it advertised on Instagram and I had applied, was approved, but I was not satisfied with the service that was being offered by the company that I think, I don't know if you guys had selected that particular company.
We would have selected, yes.
Easy marketing. I was not satisfied with the service that I was provided with, and I spoke with the owner and was further dissatisfied. So I've never approved of it, and I really wanted to get in touch with someone from DBJ to let them know that, listen, I had not accessed this because I was not satisfied with the service, and I told them not to proceed with the website. So who can I follow up with to ensure that this was not claimed?
All right, so shoot me an email. That's my email address. Shoot me an email
and I was speaking with another
tomorrow.
person today, and I was told that a lot of other persons have had the same terrible experience with easy.
That particular, okay.
Right.
That's interesting information. Shoot me an email, give me the information, and I will have it checked on for you.
Sure. What's your email address?
It's on the screen, pchin@dbankjm.com.
Oh, hold on. Let me just.
Should be seeing it on the screen, or
right.
I can put it in the chat.
All right, thank you. I have that.
All right, you're welcome. There is Tessa.
What else did I
Hi, Tessa.
just clarify what is the Go Digital Voucher, because someone in the chat is asking. Mr.
Okay, all right. So the Go Digital Voucher is a specific grant which is geared towards assisting businesses to digitize their operations. So with the advent of COVID, a lot of businesses had to be going online with their products and services. The Go Digital Voucher was designed to assist you in making that transition. So the voucher can be used to access software. It can assist you with website development. It can assist you with e-commerce, setting up your e-commerce platform, or setting up your business to go through e-commerce or access e-commerce, along with some other services which are listed on the site. But it's geared specifically towards moving you from, say, a traditional brick and mortar to getting you with a presence in the digital space. Tessa, followed by Melvin. Go ahead, Tessa. Okay, not hearing Tessa. Melvin, are you ready? Okay, Tessa is live. Go ahead, Tess. All right, I'm not getting Tessa. Melvin, are you up?
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Hi, Melvin.
Hi. All right, so similar to what Emily said earlier, I wanted to know how suppliers such as myself could register for persons who access the grants to come to us, because we had a few persons that came to us with the grant voucher, but we weren't registered with Dbga, and once we tried, we encountered some challenges, and the persons were also unhappy with the suppliers that were listed on the site. So will you provide information further on in the slide about how persons like myself can register and the process?
I did not have it in the presentation, but I can direct you to the site where you can apply directly to become a business development organization. You said you had applied and you were having difficulty?
I tried, but no one could steer me in the right directions. So I had a lot of challenges, and even the persons that came to me was trying to assist me in getting registered, because they really wanted us to do their sites based on the level of complexity and the sites that we have done in the past. So it was a challenge. I've reached out to a few persons from Dbga, but no one responded to us, and we sent email and no one responded. So that I don't know what the process is, and I don't know if anyone here else that's here would like to know that process also.
That's interesting, because during the Go Digital campaign last year, we accredited almost 40 new business development organizations. So not sure what went wrong with your attempts to apply. I've just put my email in the chat, and I'm going to ask for persons with similar issues just to email me directly, and I will have your issues treated with. I'll have officers who would be able to reach out to you, get additional information, and see how best we can assist.
What we
Thanks
can
for that.
Do, no problem, sorry. What we can probably do is continue, and then we'll take some more questions. At an interval.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Agreed with that approach, Denise. So can everybody mute for me, please? Thank you. All right, so I mentioned that there are currently over 30 different services. These are just a few. Vouchers start from 50,000, and this is for a training, and up to a maximum of 300,000. And of course, as mentioned earlier, the voucher covers up to 70% of the cost of the service. So just some of the prices. So for business plan preparation, the voucher will pay up to 250,000, business process improvement, 2 financial statements, 250, digital transformation, 300, and training 50. We also have, so those grants are to assist you in moving your operations from point A to point B. Technical support as well as business development support. We also have an energy audit grant, and we know what is happening in the market now with electricity and the price of electricity and what your bill can look like every month. The Dbga Energy Audit Grant is designed to get you some certified professional help in seeing what your energy consumption looks like. Where can you make changes within your operations to be able to cut back on some of that electricity bill. The energy audit grant is also a precursor to you getting getting access to our energy loans. We have energy loans for both residential and business, and those can be applied for directly through your financial intermediaries such as JMMB. Energy audit grants up to 200,000 in value, and as I said, helps you to understand how your energy is being used and why. And we have seen in a number of cases where sometimes some basic changes can improve your energy usage. Can you all mute for me, please? Thank you. Okay. Yeah, as I was saying, sometimes just some basic changes within your operations can lead to energy savings. And the energy audit grant, your energy auditor will be able to give you information on some of the things that you can do in order to improve efficiencies within your energy line. We have a grant which is geared towards innovation, and it is called the Ignite grant. And Ignite is an acronym for Innovation Grant from New Ideas to Entrepreneurship. Now, this grant is offered in 2 pillars. One pillar will treat with businesses in the ideation stage. So you have a business idea, you have not yet launched it, you are able to access a grant to move that business idea from an idea towards a minimum viable product and towards an official launch of your business. The other component of the Ignite grant is the commercialization component. So you have a business idea which you have started, you have a minimum viable product. You need to commercialize that product. The Ignite grant can provide you with the funds to do that. In the case of the ideation component, you can access up to $3 million for to move that from an idea to a business. And for the commercialization grant, you can access up to $7 million to get that business up and running. Eligible categories include software and ICT industries, artisans, and products in the creative industry, agricultural technology, light manufacturing, climate change, innovation, as well as innovation which treats specifically with gender. Gender is always, for want of a better description, a sexy product. A lot of international organizations tend to provide grants and funds for products and services which focus on gender. And in this case, we're talking female gender, women, and youth is also there in the mix as well. The Ignite grant is normally looked at in different ways. You have the grant looking from a firm level. We also look at specific industries and sector. We look at products which have a social impact, which will enhance what happens in your community. We look at it also from a parish or a district level, as well as country, Caribbean, and world. Ignite, we are in the process of closing out the third tranche of Ignite. Ignite 3 comes to a close. We are actually wrapping up Ignite 3 now. Ignite 4 will be launched in around about the end of July. And earlier in the presentation, I said to you, research is one of the areas that will determine access to a grant. One of the sites that you ought to be checking on a regular basis is the Dbga Site. The Ignite will be launched usually via press release, as well as information on the Dbga Site. So again, Ignite is administered in 2 tranches, a grant for ideation and a grant for commercialization. Commercialization being $7 million, and the grant for the ideation stage is for up to $3 million. And I think the total number of businesses which have accessed both grants, 20 for Ignite 1, I think we're somewhere in the region of about 60 different businesses which have, well, over 60, which have accessed Ignite grants over the last 3 years. We also have what I will loosely call the big boy of the bunch, and that is the Innovation Grant Fund. Innovation Grant Fund targets medium-sized businesses or businesses with revenues in excess of or between $75 and $150 million, businesses which have been in operations for at least 7 years. And as far as innovation is concerned, we are looking for businesses which are seeking to come to market with new or an enhancement of a product or a service, looking at businesses which have the capacity to break into new markets. And yeah, pretty much those 2 areas are what we look at for our Innovation Grant Fund. The Innovation Grant Fund was launched on the 20th of May, that's last week, Friday. It came out via a press release, and the information is on our website as to how to apply. The process is pretty straightforward. applications are made online at thinkbiggie.com. And for those of you wondering, Biggie is a World Bank funded program. And the funds for this grant are provided via World Bank funds. So the innovation grant is launched or progresses through 2 stages. Stage 1 is the submission and expression of interest, and that is going to be open between May 20th and the 30th of June. Stage 2 takes you from July 1st to August 30, and this is where there is submission of a detailed project proposal. In the case of Innovation Grant Fund, assistance is provided for you to complete that stage 2 application, after which there will be selection. And as I mentioned earlier, the amount of this grant is $20 million, having been increased from $14 million at the last round of the IGF. So generally speaking, applying for grants normally go like this. You have to do your search, which will allow you to find a grant which is aligned to your business or the stage of your business or what you're trying to accomplish within your business. You have to check and make sure that you're eligible for the grant. So if the application or the grant process says you have to be in business for 7 years, don't apply if you're only in business for 4. You would be wasting your time because the application is going to get thrown out because you have not met the qualifying standard. Complete and submit your application online or physically if that is still applicable, and then you proceed to track what the progress is as far as your grant application is concerned. And normally you're provided with a unique application number, and that is seen with our DBGA grants. Once you apply for a voucher, you would get a unique voucher number that you can use to query any issues that you might be having with your voucher. So this slide wraps up the presentation on grants, and I will field some more questions relating to DBGA grants and issues that persons may be having with their grant application, or to clarify any issues surrounding applying for a grant.
But
go ahead, Denise.
I said, don't mind, what I would probably like to suggest is that if you're having an issue with a grant that you already applied for, you could just send an email either to us or to Mr. Chin's email, and then we can have someone assist you. And then if you have questions in terms of the accessing the grant and how it works, then we would like to focus on those right now.
Yes, Denise. So there, 2 persons had their hand up. Cislin and Tessa. I don't think Tessa had asked her question. And I see Perlina. So let's take the 3 persons with their hands up. Starting first with, I'm seeing Cislin first. So I'll give Cislin a nod. Go ahead, Cislin.
Good evening, everyone. For me, my question is, I have applied for a financial grant. However, I want to know if I can also apply for a business grant. Am I qualified to apply for a business grant?
Off the top of my head, I would say no. Because eligibility is 1 grant every 2 years.
Oh.
With the exception of Go Digital, and that is information that I have to double check because somebody earlier on said they were told they can only apply for one. So I want to ensure that the information I have is up to date. So I will check on that and provide Tanis with that information by tomorrow for circulation.
I read on Instagram, sorry to interrupt, on Instagram it did say that with the Go Digital loan, you can apply for another loan.
Grant.
With the Go Digital grant, sorry.
The
you
Go
can apply
Digital
for
grant.
another Go Digital.
That's my understanding. So unless it was recently changed and I have not yet gotten that memo.
I recently read that on Instagram.
Okay, that's my understanding. But
Thanks,
sometimes
Amelia.
things
That's
change
the
very
same
fast.
understanding I have. However,
Yes.
as I said, I wanted to know if I can apply for the financial grant and the business grant, because I'm aware
Okay,
you
so
can apply
when you say
for
financial
business.
and business, okay, so probably I am not understanding when you say
So
financial versus business.
So for financial statement,
Okay.
right? And then to
Mhm.
apply for a business plan.
No,
'Cause
you can't.
I
No,
can't. So
no,
it's either
no.
or along with the Go Digital.
That's correct. Yes.
Okay, just wanted clarity on that. I heard you
No
also
problem.
mention that the Ignite grant for open, but I didn't get the date that it will be open.
Ignite will open towards the end of July.
End of July.
Yes.
And could you remind me of the figures for both? I heard 7 and I'm not sure.
7 for commercialization and 3 for ideation.
And 3 for ideation?
Ideation or idea stage. So if you have a business idea that you are looking to move from an idea to a what is called a minimum viable product, before getting into the market, you can access up to $3 million for that.
Mm-hmm. And the 7 million is for already established business.
For commercialization. So if you have a product which you have what is called a minimum viable product, you want to now put that product in the market, you can access up to $7 million for that.
And this is different from the gender inclusion grant that's listed under the Ignite grant?
So when the assessment is being done for Ignite, projects which fall under any one of those categories will, let me say, find favor. So it's not a grant for each category.
Mm-hmm.
It's a grant which looks at all categories. So if there is no product in there which falls in the gender category, we are simply not going to give something for gender because it is gender.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Tessa, followed by Khadisha. Go ahead, Tess. Followed by Jovan. And then we will look at some questions in the chat.
Okay. Might have to go to Khadisha. I don't think Tessa is here.
All right. As we say on the street, election run, Tessa just lost her seat. Khadisha.
Hello, are you hearing me?
Loud and clear.
All right. I am on the VTA site where you go to apply.
Yes.
But I can only apply for one. I applied for the Go Digital in March, and it was recently processed, but I'm not able to apply for anything else. The site doesn't give you the option to apply for like the marketing or one of those other grants.
Okay.
How do I go about that?
Email me and let me try and figure out what is happening. As far as I know, you ought to be eligible unless you have accessed one of those vouchers within the last 2 years.
No, it's my first time.
Your first time? All right, send me an email and I will find out for you what is happening.
All right, thank you so much.
You're welcome. And what I will do is the information, I will send the information back to Tanis tomorrow as it relates to this specific issue, because I am getting, let's say, conflicting reports. So I'm going to check and find out and ensure that I provide Tanis with the most up-to-date information for you.
All right.
Jovan.
Hey guys, thank you for having this. Two quick questions.
Sure.
One, is JMMB a facilitator of getting the Ignite thing? I don't remember what name it is. Like, for example, JBDC is one. Help me out.
Okay,
Like,
so no, JMMB wouldn't. I think you're looking at, so once grant recipients are selected, there are a number of business development organizations which are assigned to specific grant recipients. So a part and parcel of the grant is that you are provided with funds on a so you're not simply going to be getting $3 million in your hand. There are going to be milestones that you have to meet along the way, and you will have a business development organization that will work with you in achieving those milestones. JBDC is one of those institutions that will work with Ignite beneficiaries. JBDC was one, Branson Center was one. I don't think Branson Center is still on the program. I believe Sisters Inc. was another, but several. So I'm not sure if that is what you're referring to, Jovan.
no, yes. Thank you. And in order for me to be a part of it, I need to be a part of one of these videos as what you mentioned.
So in other words, you want to become a registered business development organization, which would be now entitled to provide services under
no.
DBG's.
Let me stop you. It's
okay.
Thanks. I'm sorry. I may have misspoke. I would like my company to be a recipient of the Ignite program, right?
Okay.
What would I
so
have to do?
When applications open towards the end of July, then you will go online and make your application to be a beneficiary under the Ignite program.
Directly.
The criteria.
I don't have to use a video to get through.
No, you don't have to.
Okay.
You can apply directly.
There's a follow-up question to that, in that we have a company that does like pretty high-tech stuff, but when we registered or when we went through it, we didn't get it. So I was a little bit shocked, because we do like virtual reality and stuff, but we didn't get through. So I don't know, but I'll try again. Thank you.
And that is one quick one before you go. That is gets through in becoming a business development organization.
No, we were applying for the Ignite grant.
For the Ignite grant.
Funds. Right.
I see.
To use the funds to develop more stuff. But yeah, but thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome. Well, Ignite 4 comes up again. I am not aware of anything that should preclude you from making another attempt.
That we will. Working on some cutting edge stuff. Okay.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Thanks.
All right. Good luck. We had who next? Cherise.
Next. Hi, good night.
Good night, Cherise.
Good night. So our question is, our company had gotten a grant from DBJ for the Go Digital
grant.
We're currently in the process of getting our website up. However, we also applied for the branding grant, but at the time, apparently DBJ's website was down and it did not process. Is it that we can apply for the branding grant through JMMB now?
I would say yes, you can, because well, probably no. Let me find out some information first. when you say it didn't go through, did you get an application number?
No,
What
nothing.
happened? Okay, so the site was down, you applied and you didn't get any follow-up communication, you didn't get an email, nothing?
Right, nothing at all.
All right. Send me an email.
Okay.
Send me an email and I will have it checked for you. I don't want to tell you, yes, you ought to apply, you should apply through JMMB, because I'm not sure if JMMB has put anything in place to be accepting or providing this kind of service. I don't want to put JMMB on the spot.
All right, there's a partner of mine in the same business. He also wants to ask a question pertaining to the same grant.
Sure,
Branding.
sure. And then we will take Farin and Trudy.
Good night, Searching. How are you?
Pretty good, thanks. How you do?
I'm all right, sir.
All right, great.
Just want to also start by saying, sincerely appreciate what you guys are doing for local businesses. We do need the help, especially at such a time as COVID.
Thank you very much for that. Thank you.
COVID. Yeah, it is really taking things far away for us. So sincerely, thanking you for that. My question, read a branding grant. I know that this might have to go at the policy level, but, and I really don't want to seem like I'm ungrateful, but there is a clause that says you have to find a certain percentage of the amount, which in essence, I think it's 40%.
30.
30, right? 30% of the overall cost for the branding. We just started November last year, and we are in dire need. We have used up our funds, and it was significant to get the business off the ground, because my wife and I, we were employed to a regular 9 to 5. We are outside of that scope now, and we have decided to trot the entrepreneur landscape. So far we have started and we are going, but the branding situation is one where there's a halt. Reason being, the 30% we think, whilst the assistance is coming, and as I said, we're very grateful for it, but in a lot of the cases, persons might not be able to access this particular grant because of that clause where they would have to find. So the branding is like for $200,000, right? You would now have to go and find, that's what, 60 grand. So you have to take that out of pocket to get the branding, and a lot of persons might not readily be able to find that $60,000 up front. So I'm not sure if it's something that is being discussed, where probably the portion to come up with could be a little less then. I'm not saying that you guys have to pay the entire amount. It would be good if that's the case, but it's a little bit difficult. I know these branding companies, when they come to do their lay vinyl or whatever you want to call it, over a certain square foot of wall, it's not cheap, you know. And you really need that branding, especially if you're in a certain space where you have a lot of competitors. You really want to stand out. And if you can conceptualize something good, and it's kind of, you know, not forthcoming just because that barrier is there for you to find that amount, you know. So
we have looked at it. We have looked at it before. Appreciate the question. It's not currently under review, but we do review our products and services on a regular basis. And you are not the first person to have or to be asking that we amend that contribution portion. So it is something that is always under review. And thanks for that observation. And you're not ungrateful. In business, you have to find what works best for you. And if you can get Dbga to do a bit more, why not? Thanks for that. Farin, followed by Trudy, Emilia, and then I will move. We have half an hour left. We have 25 minutes left. I will move into the presentation for our credit enhancement facility, and we see if we can get some more questions in before we wrap up at 8 o'clock. Go ahead, Farin.
All right, good night.
We have, Frank, can you give 1 second, please? We have some questions in the chat window.
Okay,
I don't know
yes.
what they've told. So Chantal would like to know if she applied for a vote and applied for the 2 years.
You're breaking up. You're breaking up, Tanis.
Okay, that is on the phone.
Once, can that person sorry, you hearing me now?
You know.
It's short. It's not going to reach what it is.
Chantal wanted to know if she applied for a voucher and it has expired, if she can reapply before the 2-year period, being that she did not use it before it expired.
Yes, and I believe we can also reopen the voucher. So again, shoot me an email or shoot Tanis an email to forward to me. Either one can work. So all of those voucher issues for persons who may have applied and encountered some difficulty, send an email to me or to Tanis, and we'll try and have those resolved for you. Once you have applied already, send us something and let us try and resolve the issues.
And I don't know if you'd be able to answer this question. Someone
I'll
wants to know how to sign up to become an AFI.
An AFI. No, an AFI refers to an approved financial institution that is normally our commercial banks. We also have MFIs, which is an approved microfinance institution. The microfinance sign up is significantly less. The AFIs are usually our large financial institutions, commercial banks, near banks. So to sign up to become an AFI is not very easy. Perhaps a microfinance institution, well, that's a lower bar. So maybe that is what is being asked for. The AFI bar is very high. Your large financial institutions, those are our AFIs. So I'm not sure if that information is specific enough, or that request.
Well, we will move on. If not, you can indicate in the chat window if that's what you wanted to know, if you have another question. So Farin can go ahead.
Go ahead, Farin.
All right, good night. The 2 questions I actually have is actually not for me personally, but a friend of mine started a pastry business in December, but it is not going so well, and she was asking me how she could access the grant. That's the next, and next one is an agriculture business. What type of grants do you have for agriculture?
Okay, so to treat with the first one first. So the grants which are on offer at the DBGA are grants for business development and technical support. So I'm not sure what the pastry operation needs, but your friend would be able to go online at dbgavoucher.com and look at all the services and I guess make a determination on which one would best help her.
Okay.
As it relates to agriculture, all of the grants that are available under the VTA program can apply for agriculture. You can need a business plan, and we have at least one specialist agricultural institution, and that is the AIC, Agro Investment Corporation, that can do an agricultural business plan for you. It can be marketing. You can want financial statements for your agricultural business. So all of the grants can also apply for agriculture. So I would
You
say
have to be
go online.
registered?
You have to be registered. Yes,
Okay.
that's a key component of accessing all of DBG's facilities, whether it be loan or grant. You have to be a registered entity, and that
Okay.
registration can be limited liability company, or you can be a sole trader registration.
Okay, thank you. That answers the
All
question.
right, you're
Thank you.
welcome. All right, Trudy.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
I'm hearing you loud and clear, Trudy.
Super awesome. Hi, my name is Trudy Jones. I'm from Montego Bay, Gendai Cleaning Services. We offer residential cleaning services. Big up JMMB, one of my favorite bank and investor partner. Love on a care, love on a no more, you know? So thank you for the opportunity. Can you be so kind, Mr. Palchin, to pull up back the Ignite slide for me, please? I wasn't sure I got everything on it because it was kind of fine print. Can you do that, please? And then my question to you is, what are the guarantees? What can guarantee me for getting that Ignite loan?
There are no guarantees in life, Trudy. There are no guarantees in life. As I mentioned at the beginning of the presentation, that's one of the downsides of some grant fundings. It is extremely competitive, and you have to just put your best foot forward. There are no guarantees in life.
So you mean you don't have no step 1, ensure so you do this step 2, ensure so you do that step 3?
No. You go,
None of
you
that?
look what is required, what the requirement is, and you make your application based on what is being asked for.
So like how I'm on your website right now looking at it.
Yes.
There are some blue boxes. That's the one I would click on and look at it. Is that how it go?
When you click on a blue box, what do you get?
I don't know. There's not much information here on the website because I wanted to do my research and then able to ask questions. But
so Ignite 3 is being closed out now. Ignite 4 doesn't open until July, towards the end of July. But you should be able to find, but there's basic information on the site about the Ignite product, about the Ignite grant. So you ought to be able to find information about it, what it does, all of that. It's there on the site.
That's what I'm looking
Come on,
for,
it's
sir.
there.
Because I couldn't find it there. Probably it's there, but because the site is new to me. So that's why I was asking if you could pull up back this slide, because probably something on the slide that shows me
once
something.
Once you are on the Dbga Site.
Oh, it's the Dbga Site. I'm on dbank.jm.com.
No, you should find a link. You should be able to go to a link from the main Dbga site. Look for one of the links that should take you to the Ignite. So look for an Ignite, look for the Ignite logo, and it should, if you click on it, it should take you to the Ignite site.
No, man, it says Development Bank of Jamaica, and then it says Ignite Innovation Grant. That's not the right place. I should go somewhere else.
I don't know. Keep searching. Keep looking.
No,
keep looking.
No,
it's there.
I mean, I like the wild goose chase thing, you know, sir.
It's not wild goose chase, but I can't tell you because I'm not looking. I'm not looking. So
I'm going to see if I can find the link to you. Okay.
Go to thinkbiggie.com. Think Biggie. Listen to me.
The lady said that she's going to give me send the link in the group. I'll take it from there then.
All right.
Somebody might have a question.
Okay. Go ahead, Stacy. Thanks for that, Trudy.
You're welcome.
Yes, hi, good evening.
Stacy.
Yes, hi. Are you hearing me?
Loud and clear.
Okay, great. My question is, if you want to be a service provider for the Go Digital grant or for branding, how do you go about doing that? If you're a branding.
there's an application that you can make online. Currently, we are not looking at any or accrediting any new business development organizations right now. We have a total of 83, including a number of Go Digital videos which were recently accredited. So we're not in the accreditation phase right now. Probably not before September, towards the end of the year, before we look at accrediting any additional business development organizations.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay, but
thank you.
keep checking.
All right, will do.
Okay, all right. Kimona, last question, and then I will do the presentation on the credit enhancement facility. Go ahead,
Good night.
Kimona.
Good night. I have the same question that the last person had asked. So I
Okay,
will
so
follow
you look for the site. All right, so at the end of the presentation, I have a number of sites listed.
Okay.
So if you stick with me a little longer.
I was referring how we could be a branding provider.
Okay,
for
no
DBJ,
problem.
yes.
No problem. Oh, no problem. At the end of the presentation, I know Trudy is not going to leave us before we end, and I will put up all the sites there. So let's jump into the CEF Collateral Guarantee. You're most welcome. You're most welcome. So let's look at CEF. Now, CEF is not a grant, but I think it is important enough for small businesses to understand some of what is out there to assist. So you normally hear complaints that, boy, I don't have enough collateral, the bank won't lend me any money. The Dbga CEF facility is designed to close that gap. So the general features of our credit enhancement facility is it will provide collateral support for you for up to 80% of your loan, up to a maximum of $30 million. Now it says up to 80% because it can be less, and it is going to be dependent on what the financial institution is looking for and what they are seeking or what they want to take on as it relates to risk. For smaller loans of up to 11.1 million, you can get coverage of up to 90% or $10 million. Again, it says up to 90 because it can be less. Startup businesses in operation for up to 24 months or 24 months and beyond. That's a commercial bank standard because they are taking the risk with you as the borrower. Guarantees can be outstanding for up to 10 years. And there's a 2% administrative fee for accessing the guarantee. Now, this is separate from what the bank is going to charge you in interest for the loan. So it's not that you are paying 2% on the guaranteed portion and another percentage on the unguaranteed portion. You are borrowing, so if you're borrowing $10 million, you are paying interest, whatever the interest that the bank is going to charge you on $10 million. There is an additional 2% fee for the guarantee. How do you qualify? You must have annual sales of less than 425 million. So the guarantee is targeted at small and micro businesses, medium, small, and micro businesses. Anything over 425 million, you're considered a large business. You must be tax compliant. Of course, your project must be viable financially and technically feasible as well. You must have a proven track record. So businesses which are at least 12 months in operation can access up to 5 million in guarantee. Go back. And businesses 24 months, sorry, and over can access up to $30 million. And of course, you must have a good credit history, and the guarantee does not support the refinancing of existing loans. So those are that's the basic information regarding our credit enhancement facility. Someone had, I believe it was Emilia, who asked some questions at the beginning of the presentation regarding the CEF. Can we look at those questions or that question? And if there are any additional questions specific to the credit enhancement facility, I will seek to field them for you now. Emilia first, and then we will see if there's anything in the chat. So go ahead, Emilio.
Not regarding this. I just wanted to get a screenshot of the slide that gives you a list of the types of grants that are currently being offered.
Okay, so the slide that shows you the types of grants, that slide has probably only 6 products on it. Go to the dbgavoucher.com and you'll be able to look at the complete list of services.
Okay.
And I will put up the website in a few minutes.
Website, I'll send it.
Nastasia, you had a question?
Yes, good afternoon, good night. I wanted to find out when the Ignite grant, the window of application was closed, if there was a window of application.
Ignite 4 opens in July.
Okay.
So it is coming.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Next is, who do we have next?
There was a question about, good evening, sorry. There was a question about if charities, whether or not charities are eligible for these grants?
No. Are you registered as a limited liability company or as a sole trader? So it's geared toward businesses. I have not seen any charities. I've not heard of any. I believe the question was asked some time ago, and if I remember correctly, the response was no, it wouldn't be eligible for partaking of any of the grants.
Thank you.
Do we have anything in the chat, Denise?
I'm sorry, I just recognized I was on mute. I was saying you can go ahead to Alice in the meantime.
Okay. Who's up next? Giselle, Marvin.
Hi, good night, everyone.
Hi, Giselle.
I have a question. You mentioned something about the credit. Is it either, I'm sorry, I didn't hear clearly if it was the credit enhancement facility or financial loans that you can access in excess of 30 million?
So that's the credit enhancement facility,
Mm-hmm.
which is a partial guarantee facility, and it gets you collateral support of up to $30 million.
Of up to 30 million.
Right.
So this would be when you apply directly to DBJ or you apply through a bank?
You apply through a bank.
Okay, so you would have access to that 30 million along with the bank.
when you say have access to that 30 million, no, you're not. You have access to support. So for argument's sake, say you're looking to borrow $20 million and you don't have sufficient collateral to cover $20 million. The bank can tap into DBJ's credit enhancement facility. Say you have security of only up to 5 million or collateral up to say $5 million. Then the bank can seek to utilize the credit enhancement facility for the additional $15 million in security.
Okay, one more question before I go. You said that they will have access to it. For example, what if it is that you want access to purchase assets towards your company? For example, a vehicle that you'd use to turn over profits throughout your business. Is that an option?
Okay, so if I understand, you say you want to acquire a vehicle to help with your trading or do your deliveries. So usually for a vehicle, the vehicle would be the collateral for the loan for the vehicle. So say you want a vehicle and you want working capital, and you don't have sufficient collateral to do both loans. The bank would be able to look and do their assessment and say to you, okay, we can utilize DBJ's credit enhancement facility for X amount to close that gap between what you can provide as security and what you're looking to borrow.
Okay. All right, thank you. That's the
You're welcome,
information.
Giselle. Okay. Glow Rewind, followed by Happy Crunch.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
I'd like for you to expound or let me know if what really comes under the term gender.
So
like a gender business then. Gender inclusion. That include like products that are geared towards women.
or businesses operated by women, which are innovative.
Which are innovative.
Right.
All right. That's all I wanted to know. Thank you.
Sure. You're welcome.
Miss, one moment before you continue. I have 1 minute left. So I'm going to ask permission to take 2 last questions. And then if for all the other questions that might not have been answered, please feel free to send us an email. You can send it either directly to Mr. Chin or to us, and we will ensure that you get an answer. So I'm just going to take, if that's okay, and we'll just take 2 last questions.
That's okay with me, Tanis. Sounds like you need a follow-up session to this one.
Right? Right. So I think the foreign had asked this question before, right? So I guess we can go with Marvin. Would you like to go ahead?
Hey, good night, everyone.
Night, Marvin.
Are you hearing me, Sir Chen?
Hearing you.
Great presentation. And the session was straightforward, and it's really helped in developing businesses and customers and consumers. However, my question is that I am asking, if you are a sole trader and want to expand on business and inventory, products and goods, what would you recommend?
If you're a sole trader and you want to expand your inventory of goods?
Yes.
Okay, so none of the grants that I just spoke about will give you money to do that, because the grants provided by DBJ are for technical support or business development, meaning you know, giving you a marketing plan or get you HACCP certified, stuff like that. If you are looking for money to increase your inventory, you may have to go loan, or maybe check with another government agency like maybe Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce, if they have any programs like that that will give you that kind of support. But the DBGA grants are for technical and business support.
So Martin, I can reach out to you tomorrow, and then we can discuss to see how best JMMB would be able to assist you.
Right.
Can you repeat? Can you repeat?
I said I would reach out to you tomorrow to see how best JMMB would be able to assist you.
Okay, no problem. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. We can go for one step. Happy Crunch. Oh. Andre, would you like to go ahead?
Yes, good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Andre.
The nature of our business is basically creative entertainment. So we have provide live band services to most of the hotels, and we're at the stage now where we're trying to acquire more equipment, so we could be able to provide service to number of places simultaneously. We'll also trying to acquire a vehicle for the transportation of equipment and some of their staff members. So I'm just wondering, based on the nature of our business, if we would be eligible to attract or be considered for any of the services that Development Bank actually offers, maybe one of the grant funds.
So remember now that the grant fund or funds that the DBGA provide are for technical support or business development. What you just described to me sounds like you need to have a closer chat with Tanis for JMMB to seek to provide you with whether loan funds or however JMMB wants to structure something that will assist you in acquiring equipment or acquiring a vehicle to transport your equipment. DBGA's grants are for business development. So you won't get a grant at the DBGA to assist you with buying, say, equipment.
And we wouldn't be able to get a loan either.
The DBGA loans are done through our financial intermediaries. JMMB is one such intermediary. So JMMB would be able to do their assessment, and they could offer you a DBGA loan through their network.
Okay, understand. Thanks.
Okay, you're welcome.
So
I think we're out of time, Tanis.
Are out of time, but I did indicate both your email address and ours. So please, any questions that we did not get a chance to address, please feel free to send us an email and we will be happy to assist you. Also, if you would love to join the JMMB SME Resource Centre family, please let us know and we will also assist you. And I want to say thank you so much, Mr. Chin, for choosing to speak to us tonight on grant opportunities. It was definitely very informative, and I'm sure that everyone benefited from tonight's discussion. So we just want to say thank you so much for facilitating us. So
you're welcome, Tanis.
Thank you. So that's it for
a pleasant evening, Tanis and Mr. Paul. I'm taking the audacity. I want to big up JMMB. This is Juliet Wallace from Jamaica Go Europe, and I want to share with all your participants the great partnership we have with JMMB, because I tell you, we represent 30 MSMEs and the majority of them are in agro processing, and we had a challenge dealing with some of the financial institutions. And let me tell you something, Paula Forrest of JMMB She is one customer service person with a huge heart and efficiency, looking out for micro businesses. So JMMB, enough love. And Mr. Jane, you guys are doing a good work. Well, there's some areas to brush upon, but
I second the notion. I really appreciate JMMB and everything that they've been doing. They've been really awesome.
yeah. And who is not with JMMB, you need to come to the right bank. Seriously.
Yeah,
I'm
get
not
on
getting
board.
paid for this too, trust me.
Send me your concerns, Juliet. If there are issues that you think we can brush upon, please feel free to email me and let us continue the conversation.
Okay, love Paul. Thank you. Have a good one.
Okay, all right, great. Have a good evening all. And I have up on the screen our contact information. You can go straight mail dbankjm.com. We have a WhatsApp line, which is for text only. Don't call the line, you won't get a response. We have our switchboard lines, and we have our different sites. The DBJ main site, we have the Think Biggie site, which is where you will find information on the Innovation Grant Fund, as well as Ignite. There's the CEF site, and then there's the DBJ Voucher.com site. This is where you will find the voucher for technical assistance information. So happy hunting, guys. And we're an email, a phone call, or a WhatsApp text away. Please don't hesitate to reach out to us. And I know Tanis will provide that support for you as well. So
Tanis is also here, so feel free to reach out to us for any assistance that you need, even outside of the grant funding. You can go ahead. You had a question?
Tanis, I was just wondering, Juliet Wallace, Go Europe again. Is there any way we could find out, but because when we do get this good information from JMMB, we transmit it to as many small businesses as we can, and we sent out to about 100 companies. So I would like to know in future, can I have a feedback as to, or would it be possible to have a feedback to know how many of the companies that respond from us, so we can know what we're putting in our effort to do to promote what you're doing?
What I can do is I can call you and then we can have a discussion. You said that Paula has your contact information?
Yes, she does.
No problem. So I will, either Paula or myself will reach out to you.
All right, great, thanks.
all right, everyone, have a good evening and continue to be safe. COVID is still out there, so do all you can to protect yourselves and your families.
Good night, everyone. Thank you so much for
Have a good night.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
All the best. Thank you very much. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good night.
Bye all.
Good one now.
Smart Business Account for SMEs. Being a business owner is a role that changes constantly. At JMMB Bank, we offer a new type of partnership. We understand and hear about the unique needs that come with operating a small or medium-sized business by offering flexibility, partnership, and expert advice to support your successful growth. For you, we've created the JMMB Smart Business Account. The JMMB Smart Business Account is an interest-bearing checking account for registered businesses with an annual revenue of under $450 million, or US dollar equivalent, which gives you the opportunity to maximize the value of every dollar earned. The benefits? No nuisance fees. Never have to deal with monthly service fees, account dormancy fees, and minimum monthly balance requirements. Easy payments. Enjoy free bill payment and free inter- and intra-bank automated clearinghouse ACH transfers within Jamaica. Interest accumulation. Earn interest and grow your company's money over time. Interest is calculated daily and paid monthly. 1 free manager's check per month. Check leaves available upon request, or ask about our special pay-as-you-go check feature. Speak to a JMMB Bank representative today to see how the JMMB Smart Business Account, along with our Small Business Loan Solutions and SME Resource Center, can support you in growing your business. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn at JMMB Group, or visit our website, jm.jmmb.com. JMMB SME Resource Centre, a partnership that goes above and beyond. Because you need more than just a bank, we are committed to offering support and guidance to small and medium-sized businesses, or SMEs, every step of the way. The JMMB SME Resource Centre ensures that you are prepared to access JMMB's banking, investment, and insurance brokerage services, along with our business planning expertise. The center provides customized advice to take your business to the next level. The JMMB SME Resource Center will help you to identify financial opportunities, develop a professional business plan, structure financial statements, and solve business challenges with the help of our network of business partners. Are you ready to grow your SME with JMMB? Speak to one of our JMMB ifs to find out how we can partner with you. Follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at JMMB Group, or visit our website at jm.jmmb.com.